Hello YouTube, this is Marco. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. Today I review the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80. I give you my unfiltered thoughts and opinion and ultimately tell you if it's worth picking up or not. So let's roll the intro and jump straight into it. Alrighty, so diving straight into the review of this watch, of course, before we begin, a wristwatch check. What am I wearing? I'm actually wearing, of course, the 126710 BLNR, the one and only, the Bruce Wayne, as I like to call it. But I did want to do a quick review of this watch right over here. This is the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80. I got the one in blue because ultimately I do have the Bruce Wayne, which is a black dial, so I just felt, having a blue dial would give me that added little dial diversity. So what do I ultimately think about this watch? I think for the price, it's really hard to beat, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people on YouTube have been reviewing this watch and saying the same thing, and I think it's for a very, very good reason. And first and foremost, let's start with, I think, what's really, I guess, the most important is this bracelet, right? Because ultimately the design of this watch is a kind of integrated bracelet type sports watch, very much reminiscent. I think Theo and Harris Christian hit the nail on the head when he said it reminds him of an oyster quartz Rolex, but of course with that kind of royal oak tapestry style dial. And I don't disagree. I think he's actually hit it right on the money design wise. And overall, this bracelet is super smooth, super comfortable. It doesn't pinch any hairs for me. It's got this really nice butterfly clasp, which I do really like. I think it wears very comfortably. It's got obviously a display movement as well, as you might see. Nothing really to see, to be honest with you. I don't really think it's necessary, but I do understand why Tissot does include a movement shot like that. Ultimately, for guys who are just getting into watches, I think it is cool and interesting, and so people would ultimately tend to gravitate or enjoy a display case back. Now, one thing I will say about the design of this case is that these corners of the actual watch are fingerprint and dirt magnets. Like, they will get dirty, there is no question about it. Especially if you touch it, your fingerprints will definitely be left on. Another drawback from the watch, because I will point them out, it is an honest review, is this crown. I feel this crown is a little bit small, especially when you're setting the watch. It can become a little bit of a hassle. I wish they made it just a little wider. It's not really, in terms of like width, I think it's fine, but it's really in terms of like the width of the crown, like kind of sideways. I wish it was just a little wider sideways, just so it would be a little easier to grip overall. But other than that, and maybe the date window, I wish they did a matching color date window. There's not really any negatives I can say about this watch. I think the bracelet and the feel of the bracelet is really nice. The design is great. The dial is really excellent, especially for the price that you're paying. You get the PRX Powermatic 80 movement, which is 80-hour power reserve, quick set change date. Mine is operating currently at about plus 5 seconds a day, which is perfectly acceptable, I feel, for a watch at this price point. Could it be better? Of course. Could it be worse? Definitely. So, I'm not too upset about it. Overall, I think the watch feels great. The profile is also excellent. It sits very flush on the actual wrist. And I will say it is quite thin, which is very enjoyable. Now, one thing I was worried was about this solid end link. So it is a watch that wears about 50 or so plus millimeters lug to lug. Now, usually I can't pull off watches that are that big lug to lug, just because I do have a smaller wrist, 6 1/4 inches. So I was afraid that this watch wouldn't fit me. That's why I did go and try it on at the 80 before I actually purchased it. But ultimately, no hassles, no quarrels with the fit of the watch. I think it actually looks great, which I will actually give you a wrist shot of now. I did get a Tissot box. I think it's kind of just a regular Tissot box, nothing too special, nothing too crazy in that regard. So yeah, just taking off the Rolex and I'm gonna put on the PRX. But yeah, I think the fit is great overall. It's super thin profile on the wrist, and I really like the bracelet. I think it's super comfortable. I ended up taking out about 5 links. Again, I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist for those who don't know. But yeah, fit wise, I think it's just perfect. I think it's really, really excellent on the wrist. I think it just fits me beautifully, like a glove, to be honest with you. It's really just perfect. That end link doesn't bother me at all. It just sits flat and flush right with the end of my wrist. I know this angle might not be the best, but it really does fit quite beautifully. And butterfly clasp is excellent. truly excellent. It is a little bit centered off more towards the right of my wrist, which is actually much more comfortable versus if it was on the other side. I don't know why, but I just felt it was super comfortable when I didn't put it directly in the center of my wrist. I would say that is definitely one drawback, is this kind of construction right here is definitely not the most comfortable. If you have to find that kind of fit where it really is comfortable for you. So I will say, overall for the price, I ended up getting this from my Rolex authorized dealer, just to of course build that kind of purchase history and relationship with my AD. I am awaiting a sub, hopefully in the next couple of months. So, I figured why not? And the AD was gracious enough to give me a discount on it. Out of pocket, I didn't really pay all that much. I actually ended up paying under retail. So, it's a great way to build that AD relationship. It's also a great watch overall, super great. As somebody who doesn't really wear one of these, which is a G-Shock, I just can't really connect with a watch like this. I think a Tissot PRX Powermatic AD is really that perfect beater under that $1,000 price point that you can wear kind of as a substitute for a G-Shock. You're kind of rugged, durable, knock it around type of a watch. And that's really what this watch will fulfill as a role for me. I think it's just perfect in that role overall. I just love it. I don't love a G-Shock, admittedly. It's just not my kind of watch. It's not something that's ever resonated with me, but something like this, something simple, something that has a clean aesthetic, a clean design that fits comfortably, 100-meter water resistant, Powermatic 80 movement, which is 80-hour power reserve, so I can, put it down a few days and just pick it right back up. I think it's excellent. It's super versatile, can be dressed up or dressed down, no problem. And again, just wear super comfortable. So yeah, that's my review of the watch, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I would definitely say if you are considering picking up the watch, I would definitely pick it up for myself. No questions asked. I think it's a wonderful watch. I think it's hard to beat in that sub $1,000 category. So yeah, that's the review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do like the video, comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions and comments down below. Let me know if you own a PRX yourself and what you thought of the watch. And yeah, this is the review. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.